Chapter 2. The Pact. Ha! Not bad, Erebus? My boy saw sense in the end, bellowed a very large, intimidating-looking character. Indeed, Akuma, but I think it's abundantly clear that we have Gio to thank for that. The leader of the West Gate spoke dryly, exchanging glances with Volt and Gembu, his East and North Gate counterparts. Akuma, full title Akuma Demon Lord, represented the South Gate on the Council of the Four Gates. Although a vast, rat-like demon, his pristine white shirt, small charcoal grey trousers, and a purple cloak covering dense black fur gave him a regal air. But no shoe or glove could ever sheath his heavy claws. This contradiction of refinement and monstrosity made for a very imposing leader. Akuma's epic proportions threw a long and dark shadow over Erebus as he stood next to him in the dim light of the round room. Akuma focused his sharp amber oval eyes on the 3D projection that lay before them and leaned closer. His large black pupils hinted at his wild intelligence as they zoomed in on Requiem, who could be seen deep in thought in his monolith, Gio by his side. A dark smile traced along the snout of Akuma's rodentian face, revealing his huge needlepoint teeth as he rubbed the pads of his massive hands together with glee. "Something amuses you, Akuma?" Erebus asked, his voice echoing off the domed roof. Akuma's left ear pivoted towards Erebus. Pulling his deep purple cloak to one side, its gold patterned edge briefly sparkling in the projection's light, Akuma held his hand over his heart. "Just because I am leader of all that is deemed evil, can I not smile?" Akuma replied in a dark and insincere voice. He plunged his blade-like claws towards his heart and stood tall. A nauseating screeching noise echoed around the room as his scimitar-clawed feet dug into the floor. Yet Erebus stood unmoved. "You disappoint me, Erebus," Akuma spoke in a deep, bone-grinding tone. He leaned down to face Erebus and whispered in his ear, "We want the same thing here, do we not?" Leaving his words to linger heavily in the air, Akuma turned and strode out of the round room, his cape just missing Erebus's face. In the space that Akuma had just vacated hovered a parting gift, a gold container. Reaching out for it with an air of resignation, Erebus whispered, "Indeed we do, Demon Lord. Very much the same, yet very much opposed." With Akuma safely departed, Gembu, a gentle, middle-aged man in traditional Japanese attire, spoke up. "I know we've all agreed that we cannot allow Requiem's increasingly reckless behaviour to go unchecked, both for the sake of the Four Gates' stability and for our peaceable relations with the Hafuna, but the journey he is about to undertake is perilous in the extreme. Should he even reach his destination, his power, although exceptional for the Four Gates, may still not be strong enough to sustain his life within the Fifth Gate. And so he will perish, and we will mourn his loss," replied Lord Volt, ever the dispassionate tactician. A young, dark-haired man, dressed in black trousers and a buttoned, collarless jacket. His deep and powerful voice commanded an authority beyond his years. "But far more worrying is the alternative, that he doesn't reach his goal, or rather, our goal, since he must remain unaware of his fate. Then he will return to the Four Gates, and given how our situation here is unfolding, he will be forced to choose once and for all where his loyalties lie. If he sides with Akuma, then the Four Gates and the Hafuna will ultimately fall. If he sides with us, well then, we have a chance." Gembu continued to press his concern for Requiem's welfare. Akuma will no doubt try to provoke Requiem into rage, as an angry, unthinking Requiem is more likely to side with him. But it wouldn't be beyond Akuma to try to kill Requiem, if if it doesn't look like the tide is turning in his favour. And he'll need his most powerful allies to dispatch Requiem, as he won't want to dirty his hands himself and risk Requiem turning on him. That will mean unleashing the Darkstalkers, even Entropy herself, added Volt, as his eyes flitted about the many shadows in the round room, suddenly scanning for Darkstalkers. Or the might of the Black Guild. Florin has many resources at his disposal to attack Requiem. It would be wisest for Akuma, Entropy and Florin to tackle Requiem together, with death swiftly becoming the main aim, if an early attempt at rage doesn't work, rather than giving us time to win him over. A perilous journey indeed, concluded Erebus, as he looked into the projection. Gio could be seen holding on to Requiem for stability as the monolith rumbled through space towards the four gates. Requiem was not one for physical contact, and the fact that Gio was able to hold him so tightly afforded Erebus some hope. Was Requiem redeemable after all? Could the bonds of friendship be the tragic flaw in Akuma's terrible plan? Only time would tell. With a wry smile, he looked up at his fellow councillors and said, "It'll be so much more fun if he takes his friends along." Genbu grasped the container left behind by Akuma. Indeed, with his friends by his side, he not only has a reason to fight, but also valuable assistance. Rightly or wrongly, the pact with Akuma has been made. Handing the container to Erebus with resolve, he added, "Requiem should visit Talis without delay and learn of the fifth gate. The Earth must not suffer any more implosions." As he watched the passing of the container, Volt summarised their position. "Not long from now, we'll either gain a powerful ally, rid ourselves of a great risk, or have handed the winning card over to the enemy. A 2 in 3 chance of a good outcome. I'd take those odds."